right, so as you can see in this video, the advancement of technology, it won't allow you uh, to be abandoned in society, and it won't allow you to be a criminal in society. When you hear these NASA spacemen talk, right, what you see is that, they're using radio uh, satellites in order to communicate. They're using number encryptions to sound out wave temperatures uh, through the point of contact at a certain destination, and them also speaking to someone who may be stationed. So you see a lot of methods that are used in order to receive um, satellite transmitting. Um, I have a device on my phone, and it picks up uh, star star talks. Like it picks up. You see this right here. This is on the other side of the planet. Where to the obvious eye it hasn't been explored, right? So I can go into this app and I can see, like, where a mission has landed, where a mission has left. I can see where the next mission voyage is scheduled to be, on time with the exact data as far as sunlight, dawn, and sunset. So when you're listening to this, right?
Guess that means you want us to use B2 and D2, huh?
That's affirmative. And we'd like you to hold the spin up until we, we're able to...
As you can see, when you're listening to it, you know, they're basically talking over um, the they're basically talking in speed and sound and light, at a point that the technology allows it. When you're just on Earth, right, you have basic you talk between metal on Earth. That's how you talk on Earth. Well, they're not necessarily talking with metal on, you know, the outer sphere of a certain planet where they may be voyaging. If you're on Earth, you're using a motherboard that has metal on it, and it has plastic on it. It has other minerals on it. When you're talking, right, everything that you do, everything that you say, even through imaging and also sound, right, radio, um, the data is saved somewhere, right? It's saved at the radio tower, obviously, but it's saved somewhere else. Even when you have people who may uh, have a laptop that may be nearby or something like that. When you take a picture, when you look at those photos, right, that are on your laptop, and I've seen this, because I have a laptop, right? I have two of them. When you look at the laptop of the person who's a guest in your home and they're using your Wi-Fi, right? You notice that when you go deep into the folder, you see all these different folders. And then you may go into a folder that says zero zip, or it may say zero RAR. And you go into the folder, the picture you just took from your phone, because he has no access to your phone and she does, the image you just took on your phone, you didn't have to Bluetooth it. You didn't have to transfer it. You didn't have to USB it, through a cord. It's already on that laptop. So imagine what the radio tower has. You see what I mean? This is the advancement of technology. You can create children with these sounds, from outer space, right? You can create a child just with a whistle. This is the advancement of apps, and this is the advancement of technology. You could evaporate a cup of milk, with the amount of oxygen that hovers over it, right? With a radio enhancer. You know, you can speak through a radio idolizer, and you can speak through it, and the milk will start evaporating. This is the advancement of technology. So for people out there who think like, you know, I can get away with this crime or I can get away with that crime, you're sadly mistaken, you know? And like I have to keep touching on this subject about public safety because I keep seeing people, you know, who live in these communities, you know, by their own actions and own intent, you know, they put themselves in harm's way when it comes to, you know, they get past, you know, the local level, right? The precincts. The precincts, they only do so much. And if they can't solve the case, what happens is the boss head, it gets, you know, the boss head get twisted. And, you know, who comes in next? You know, the state troopers. The state troopers can't solve it. Then who comes in next? The FBI. The FBI can't solve it. Then who comes in next? The marshals. Then the marshals can't solve it. Who comes in next? The paramilitary. Then who comes in next? The CIA. So, like, if NASA has to come and solve a crime, you know, you have these white people that have to leave their neighborhoods and come to your community because you can govern yourself. This is when the problem of generational wealth actually becomes the issue. So I want to tie all that in, and you know, this video is going to go up. I'm going to share it, and like I want people to really understand something, that you know, public safety is, you know, the device of everyone. Everybody has to have a measure of want in their own well-being outside of them just being next to someone who is fragile in the mind or just you know, irresponsible. You have to want for that person what you want for your own people, you know, regardless of national origin. So like, I'm going to close out, and, you know, you all have a good one. I don't plan on going on camera today anytime soon. So this would be the only video right here that I'm going to post, right? So like this. So you all take it easy and take care. Great peace, Yakoki.